When you start to connect with that feminine energy, you are going to see that people start to treat you different. You start to see that you start to having opportunities that you never had before. I actually think it's pretty healthy have masculine energy in our lives, because if we are just in our feminine energy, we have a lot of our feminine energy, we will live like in a fantasy world. Why we want to struggle, why we want to hustle when we have the power of get a lot of things. Hello beautiful angels, welcome to my channel. My name is Eva. Welcome to this community. In this community we talk everything related to self-development, femininity, and how to become the best versions of ourselves. If that is something that you are into, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and to share your thoughts about the video in the comment section. Today's video is going to be more like a girl talk. We are going to talk about how we can balance our masculine energy in our daily life if we want to feel a little bit more feminine. The first thing that I want you to realize is that of course you have this masculine energy. Of course you feel overwhelmed because you have so many responsibilities. You have to go to university, you have to go to work, you have to take care of your parents, you are the breadwinner of your family, you have little kids, you are trying to build your own business, you are trying to have the side hustle. Like, there is so much going on in your life, and because there is so much things going on in your life, by nature you are going to have to use a lot of your masculine energy. As you know, the masculine energy is this kind of energy that is very action oriented. It's this kind of energy that helps us to achieve goals, to be more organized, to be more structured, all these kind of things. I actually think it's pretty healthy have masculine energy in our lives, because if we are just in our feminine energy, we have a lot of our feminine energy, we will live like in a fantasy world, and that is not realistic neither. So that is pretty healthy. The only issue is that when you start to having more of your masculine energy, because we are women, we are going to feel out of balance. So, of course, I understand why you are feeling like this, why you are feeling so overwhelmed. But I also believe that being in your feminine energy, first, you are a woman, you have a lots of feminine energy in your body, you are just a little bit disconnected from it. And second one, femininity, feminine energy, it's a mindset. I like to think about the masculine energy and the feminine energy. The masculine energy lives in your mind, and the feminine energy lives in your body. So the first step, or the first thing that I would suggest you to do if you are trying to juggle these multiple energy in your lives, is understand what kind of traits are from the masculine energy and what kind of traits are from the feminine energy. As I explained before, everything that is action oriented is masculine energy, and everything that is more about the spiritual being, your inner self, your creative side, everything that you cannot touch is on the feminine energy. Practical examples of how you can learn how to juggle these multiple energies. If you are in your work, in your professional business, if you are creating your own company, you need traits like leadership. You need to be a little bit aggressive when we are talking about competitiveness with another business, whatever. You need to be structured and organized. But in the moment that you leave that place, in the moment that you are back at home, remember that you are a woman. Remember that you deserve rest. Remember that your family deserves a nurturing and loving woman as well. So you can take 30 minutes once you arrive at home and go direct to take a bath, read a book, leave your phone on a side, maybe prepare a nice meal, and try to don't be reactive. This is a very common trait that I see in women that are very overwhelming or that are living a lot in their masculine energy, is that they became very reactive. You want to manage everyone, you try to control everyone, you are always in a bad mood. Let's say that you arrive at your house after a long day at work, and then you start neglect your husband because there are dishes on the kitchen, or you are upset with your kids because there are toys everywhere. So now, of course, you have to arrive from your job, and plus that you have to clean your house. It kind of feels a little bit too much, but what women don't understand is that they don't need to be reactive in order to get the things that they want. This is feminine energy, and I think that women don't realize the power of the feminine energy. When you are a woman in your feminine essence, there are going to be times where you will not even have to demand or ask him or to someone to do things for you, because this energy, it kind of creates the perfect environment for you to have a perfect life. You have been living in your masculine energy and this is not your normal energy, and the people around you cannot feel it, then you will have to take smaller steps to start creating that new environment in your house. But instead of being reactive because the dish is not clean, the dishes are not clean, or because there are toys of the kids on the floor, you just can come in a very feminine way to your husband and say, "Hi, love, how is your day going? I feel pretty tired. I would really appreciate if you can help me with the dishes today and with the toys while I get a bath." And then you hug him and you kiss him, and just imagine this son of voice to a man, because I really believe that men, even if the guy is lacking of masculinity, deep down they are men. Deep down they are trying to make their women happy. If that is not the case, that would be the topic for another video, because then maybe it's not the right person for you. But most of the times, guys, men likes to be that they are being helpful. They like to feel appreciated. If you are hugging him, if you are giving him a kiss, he will react in a very positive way to your demands, instead of you arriving to the house and start complaining and start giving orders and bashing him and say, "You are very useless, look how this house is a mess, you never help me with anything, blah blah blah." This attitude is very masculine. This attitude is never going to work to create an environment of peace. So my suggestion is to start shifting, especially the way how you react to things. When you start to connect with that feminine energy, you are going to see that people start to treat you different. You start to see that you start to having opportunities that you never had before, because when you are in your masculine energy, as I mentioned before, is energy that is very action oriented, it's very independent, it's very I can do everything by myself. And when the universe look at you and say, "Well, this woman can do it by herself, she got everything under control, I'm not going to send her any help because she clearly is fine by herself." And this is a trap for us, like why we want to struggle, why we want to hustle, when we have the power of get a lot of things without having to struggle or without having to suffer. Because we as a woman, we create life, and I am going to repeat this again. We create life as a woman. We have the power to create everything around our lives in a very easy way, but we are so disconnected from it. So once you start to realizing this is my power and I don't need to be overwhelmed or stressed all the time, I am going to start doing the necessary things that I need to do in order to shift my current situation. So if I know that I'm my masculine energy, the first thing that I am going to do it is stop doing stop trying to like pushing myself to do a lot of things, stop being reactive, stop giving orders to people, I am going to take a step back. I am going to be on the driver's seat, and I am going to see where life takes me. Try to implement things that makes you feel at peace. Try to do things that make you feel happy. If you are, I don't know, if in the traffic, try to listen music that makes you feel like you are your dream character, that you are that woman. If someone says something negative to you, you have to remember that when someone says something negative, it says more about that person than to you. So you don't take anything personal. You are just so confident in who you are. You are just so confident in all the things that you can get. If I have a goal, if I have a project, I'm not working extra hours because I feel that the more I work, the more results I'm going to get. I know that I'm going to get my goal eventually, and I do the steps that I need to do without having to overwork or without having to do extra things in order to get that result, because I'm very confident that I am getting it anyways. And this is the kind of attitude and this is the kind of energy that you need to have every day in your life. People around you will start treating you different, and you are going to start getting more opportunities, and your mood, you are going to become so unbothered. You are going to be so unbothered with life, so happy, so at peace. There is going to be moments, we are human beings, and we are going to be a little bit more overwhelmed, a little bit more emotional, and that is fine, but it's always about this balance. When I'm being too emotional, I just feel my emotions, and I lean a little bit on my masculine energy to help me get out of that place, because masculine energy is also that logic side. When we are very emotional, we are lacking of logic, so we can learn how to balance that. And in the moment that you find that balance is when you are going to start seeing positive change in your life. This is what I would say to a friend. I would say to my friend to just relax and understand that everyone has a very different lifestyle. I think that people also get so overwhelmed when they are in social media and they are looking women's, like flying and getting this kind of things and getting this kind of things while you are having to hustle a lot. And then you start to feeling that comparison and you start to feeling bad with yourself. But you need to know that social media is not full reality all the time, and you need to know that everyone's path is very different. This is your path, and in order to embrace your femininity, you need to be in love with your path, and you need to be in love with who you are and where are you going. So you need to embrace your path, but you need to start recognizing when you are leaning more to that masculine energy and when you are adopting those masculine traits in moments that you don't have to use them, because I think that's the key. You need to use those kind of traits, like in a job, for example, that's totally fine. But the problem is that when we start using those kind of traits in an external situation, that it's not necessary for us to be like that. That's the big issue with women that are over in their masculine energy. But when you start to being self-aware and recognizing these patterns in different situations, you can talk with yourself and say, this is not what I want. I want to be a little bit more feminine. I am not going to get stressed for this small thing. I am going to be on my feminine, and I am going to allow the energy and the universe to just add and do whatever it needs to happen. That is the power of balancing our energies. And as everything in life and as everything that is new is going to feel uncomfortable at the beginning, but eventually when you start to see the results of being a lot in your feminine energy, you are going to put it more in practice, and eventually it's going to be more and more unconscious. So that's all the video for today. I hope that you like it, that you enjoyed it. If you feel that you have like a friend or something that is a little bit in their masculine energy, send her this video. Say to her that it's okay, that it's pretty normal. All of us has masculine energy, but we need to learn how to balance, and these are small things that you can do to balance. No controlling, no be reactive, give time to yourself, be peaceful, relax, trust in the universe, let all the hustle and all the work and all the action things in the work or in the moments that you need it. But by the rest, live in your body and do the things that makes you feel good. Thank you for being here. Remember to subscribe and hope you're having a good day.